All right, we are live. It is Tuesday. Unfortunately, I'm down 881 today. I was up over 1,000 yesterday, and now I feel like I've just given it all back. Not quite, but today was just not good. You can see my P&L, the list of P&L here of the stocks I traded, and really it was just DraftKings that I ran into a bunch of trouble on and just did not trade it well. And one thing I'll share with you too really quickly is that I was just taking a look here at my performance by symbol, and DraftKings already before today is one of the stocks I've done the worst off on all time. I've lost $1,100 on that stock coming into today, and now I'm adding another $800 to that. So maybe I'm just not so good at trading DraftKings. What I'll say too is I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I've received a lot of positive comments lately, a lot of likes, a lot of good responses on these recaps. So that is very encouraging, and I want to let you guys know that I appreciate that, and welcome to new subscribers and all that good stuff. All right, so let's get into the recap. I want to keep this one short, although, it is kind of these losing days that maybe perhaps there is the most to learn from these days. It just sucks that this is such a big red day. There were moments when I did and could have walked away sooner, and, then I came back and exacerbated the lot. I made the problem bigger and lost more money. So that's always frustrating, although, all in all, this isn't the end all be all. $881 loss. I made more than that just yesterday, so I know I'm capable of coming back from a loss like this. I've had far bigger losses than this. So let's go chronologically as always. I believe that BB was actually DraftKings was my first trade. Right here, I took a short on it in front of VWAP. I went short, seeing if it would maybe fail here. I only went short 200 shares at 45.80 here in front of VWAP. I put my stop at above this wick here, or above $46, and I stopped out above $46, and that was less than a $50 loss right there. So not a huge deal on that, but I will say being green or being red on your first trade, your very first trade, no matter what it is, it changes your P&L from 0 to positive or negative. That is, unless it's a break-even trade. But that first trade really sets the tone for the day. And let me get the pen out. I know I'll need this, but anyway, the point is, okay, so let's continue here. My next trade was actually on BB BlackBerry, and this was one that it's definitely frustrating. But right here, if you watched my recap yesterday and you saw my recap yesterday, you'll know that I nearly had a great trade on BlackBerry. I bought kind of that morning bottom on it yesterday. You can see this was yesterday. Right here, I went long 1,000 shares right here at this bottom, and then it had this move up to kind of 1470. So it could have been a big trade, but you can see I got out most of my shares kind of for break even. Well, I did the exact same thing today. I bought this dip. I was long at a great entry, 1361, and I just wasn't patient enough on it. As this candle started to come down a little bit, I just was nervous. I thought this is going to break down. I don't know. I don't like it anymore. I want to get out. So I got out for a $10 gain, 1 cent on 1,000 shares. Of course, it rips up and up and up and up to 1440, and this would have been like an $800 trade if from bottom to top. But of course, that's always ifs and buts. I love playing the ifs and buts game. What if I had done this? What if I had done that? It's hard to avoid. But anyway, the point is I missed out on that, and that would have changed the tone of the day if I had really held on to this one and made some money on that trade. Oh, I can guarantee if I had had a good trade there, I would have finished the day green. Trading is so emotional. Your P&L, it's so difficult not to be driven by your P&L in a day, especially when you're red. Okay, so right here, I had a quick short on it right here at this top. I knew this was risky. The momentum is coming up. AMC was strong at this period of time too, but I thought, even stocks that move up, do have to have these pullbacks. And so I was just trying to catch this pullback, and that I did, and I got out right there. So that was a winning trade there to put me up like $80 on that trade. Okay, so I had a trade on OCGN. I want to save DraftKings for last because that's where all the, I had a quick trade here where I bought kind of into this support. I was looking for this to be kind of a low to be put in here, and then maybe that next leg higher, but we didn't get that. I stopped out on it, $80 loss right there. Neo, this was another opportunity where it could have gone my way, but didn't. And I liked Neo long today, actually. This was starting to put in a red candle, and I was looking at the daily chart, and I just thought, maybe today will be a green day, although, of course, now looking at the candle that it put in, it makes a lot of sense. But I thought it had already put this kind of big wick to the downside because of this big candle here. You see this huge drop. So it had this wick to the downside already, and then as it popped back up, I thought, big move back to the upside. I thought that's a lot of strength. I thought maybe it could have a green day. I bought here into VWAP 700 shares at 46.05 here, and then it popped right up, and the strength on this 1 minute candle really gave me the confidence to be like, okay, I gotta trade here. I gotta trade here. I'm gonna look for this to go. But one eye on the NASDAQ, and you see what it did today, and it just was not strong. And that you see that represented in these stocks. These stocks, Neo down 3%. So luckily, this one I cut this one. But with 700 shares at 46.05, even just here up 30 cents, I was up over $200 on this trade. But you see, it actually ended up topping out right here, kind of double top there, and then wow, the steep drop off down to a new low was bad. But I did stop out on it. I mean, you got to. But I wanted to not take profit. I thought we're only 30 cents in the money. I want to really get this back up to above 47 is the back of mine target, but more like 46.50, 46.60. Before I start taking profit. I really wanted to have the fish on the hook and be in that battle, but it just gave up so quickly. And yeah, not much else to say. I cut that position for a $80 loss as well. So that was a frustrating one. And those are the trades that's like, well, my entry was good. It just didn't end up going my way. And that's just how it is sometimes. So let's talk about DraftKings. This is where I really went wrong today. And I have to admit, a lot of this trading was emotional. I was extremely frustrated on it in the morning. So I had this trade on it, which I covered. And then here, I really liked what I was seeing. I thought, okay, well, there's bad news on it. They got, there's a news come out that there's a big short position in here. So anyway, there's bad news on it. It's this Hindenburg big short position. So anyway, it pops up, and of course, it's literally like I said yesterday. What I talked about yesterday, I talked about gaps. And when you have a big gap, the momentum is going to be, I should have taken my own advice, but the momentum and the bias is going to be for a gap fill, right? It may not happen, right? The bigger the gap is, the less likely that it's going to fill the gap because it's got further to move to try to fill it. But a smaller gap, it's more likely to gap and go. Well, what do we have here? We've got a big gap. Look at the daily chart. Here you see, look at this gap from 50 to 44. So that I would definitely consider that a pretty large gap. So again, when you have this large a gap where it's opening here, the bias is going to be for gap fill. In other words, a move back up to fill the gap here. And so I should have been more cognizant of that. And I was patient on it. I did go short here, but I was like, okay, this is just a teaser trade. Anyway, so that was a failure. But then I really got confidence in the short because I saw this. This is a head and shoulders pattern. And I thought, wow, this is pretty clear head and shoulders. This looks good to me. I'm going to jump on and I'm going to short it on the break of VWAP, on the break of 46.50. Now, I had my stop sell below 46.50 at 46.49. It broke 50, and then my order did not get filled. It came right through me. My order was sitting there, and and I should have been getting filled. The buyers were wanting, willing to pay better than I was even wanting. So anyway, it just came right through me, and then all of a sudden it's delayed, and then it fills me, and I've got like 8 cents of slippage. You see, I get filled here at 42. So already I was kind of toward the low of this candle when I really wanted to be more like right there on the break of 50 at 49. So 7, 8 cents of slippage there was frustrating me. And then it came down. Okay, it's still working according to plan. It's coming down. Here's 33. Here's 30. This candle pops up, and then this candle, nice, a break lower. But then, up until that point, it was really looking like the head and shoulders pattern was working really well. The head and shoulders pattern is a bearish pattern, and here's the neckline, and we're breaking below that. And here I really thought we're getting that move lower, but then it gets eaten back up. And then, of course, the second that pattern fails, massive buy volume here. Look at this candle. And then right back up through VWAP. And I was like, oh, man, you got to be kidding me. And with 500 shares, you see my entry was 46.42. It pops up to 47. All of a sudden, I'm down $250 just right here straight away. It pulls back in. I'm like, okay. And then as this candle pops back up, I did have to get out as it looked like it was about to stair step to a new high, which it did. So I cut the position, luckily. But I could have, done better on it. I could have cut it more like here in the 60s. But, even here, there's a possibility it breaks back down. So anyway, I ended up cutting it here at 90. And then, yeah, it pops back up. And then what do I try to do once again? You guessed it, I tried to go short. Here's the pattern, topping out, coming back up, and then in more top. I mean, it's just not breaking above this kind of 47.50. So anyway, as it came down here, what did I do? I shorted again below VWAP. I thought surely now, as it comes below, it's going to fail. But no, it didn't. And I should have, in hindsight, of course, my trigger should have been below kind of this spot here, below this area. Below 46, really, I think would have been much better. But, hindsight 2020, I didn't do that. I shorted here in anticipation of the break. I thought it's going to break 46.50. I'm going to get in right now. I don't want this slippage error, right? I didn't want this slippage because if you put a stop order, it's going to rail right through you and then you get triggered in, market order in on the stop, and you're screwed. So that's what happened to me here. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to limit sell right here at 54. And that worked for a period of time. It came down, popped back up, and then here again, I was like, oh man, it's going to work. It fails at VWAP. Big red candle here. Nice. Okay, we're heading down. But it catches support here at 46.20 again. Pops back up, and here again on this candle, it looked like it was coming down. I thought, okay, this is good. It fails at VWAP again. Nope, right back up and right up through VWAP once again. And I thought, oh man, so frustrating, so frustrating. So I took another 50-cent loss on 500 shares right there, another $250 loss as I stopped out again. I mean, you got to stop out because here, it's, as many tops as it made here, it's making these bottoms and it's basing out. This is all consolidation. So it is, it is a head and shoulders and we are topping out, but of course we are just kind of basing here for the next leg higher, which did take place. So anyway, whatever. So that frustrated me. So that morning period, I was already down on it like $500 from that. From the morning was most of the loss. But then I came back. I walked away. I thought, at that point, I was down like 600 on the day. I was like, man, I got to walk away. I got to walk away. I got to be done. I'm frustrated. I can feel I'm frustrated. But then a couple hours later in the afternoon, I thought, well, I'm kind of, it's been a couple hours. I'm kind of refreshed. Maybe I'll just, I'm going to take a look. Let's see the setup. Let's see what it looks like. So, of course, I did. And is it any surprise that I shorted, right? I went short. I went short. I went short. I went short. I've tried the short all day because my thinking was, yeah, the momentum is going to be gap fill. It's like I've been saying, the bigger the gap, the more likely that the momentum is going to bring you to a gap fill. But I thought, a lot of times what happens is you attempt the gap fill, come up in the morning, then, the sellers come back in and we're coming back down. It's the push and pull. So I was looking for, okay, we got the initial sell, and then the momentum brings us back up. We're rubber banding up, but now, we run out of steam, and I'm looking for the move back down, maybe retest of the lows. That's a big scheme picture. That was the bias I had on it today. I thought, I want to anticipate the move back down. I think that at least a test of VWAP again in the afternoon is over 50% chance. I absolutely think the odds are in my favor to catch a move to VWAP in the afternoon. But look at the volume. Just dead action in the afternoon, and you can see the action. It's actually a gradual increase in price in the afternoon in lunchtime. So look at how early I shorted it here. I shorted it right here. It had this big red candle kind of bringing us back into kind of between these two ranges. You've got this range, you've got this range, and now we're kind of trading in between that. And I was really looking for the test of VWAP. That's all I wanted. And then from there, we'll see what the price action looks like, and maybe we're going to come back into this range. None of that happened. Not any of that happened. So 500 shares short, carrying it up, but all this choppy action, but we're actually drifting higher. I short 300 shares here thinking, okay, we're getting that kind of, here comes power hour, and I really, 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 really think it's going to sell off. That was my bias on it. I really thought it was. But even we moved higher, and then we had a sell-off here, but it just wasn't enough. My break-even between these two shorts was 48.03. And it sold off to about 48.20 before kind of popping back up to 48.60, and then I did hold the position into after hours before I got out my entire position at 48.35. And yeah, so it is what it is. It did drift lower down to 48.08. It would have been much better for me to get out there, but I thought, if this thing, because I saw this kind of rising support here in after hours, if this thing catches a bid and starts to drift back up to 48.60, I'm gonna be so upset that I didn't just get out of this trade. So with that in mind, I thought, I get out here, I'm gonna be, it's gonna be bad. I'm down, almost 900 on the day. It's bad, but you just got to stop the bleeding. So I'll come back tomorrow, and I'm always excited to trade every morning, but I have to admit, tomorrow I'm a little bit scared. I got to take smaller share size, and I got to really try to hone in. I do feel like I will admit, I feel like I got a little bit unlucky today. I feel like things really could have worked out for me, but they just didn't. On NEO, on DKNG, and then on BB, it was really user error. I screwed up. I mean, I don't know. I screwed up today. I screwed up, but I've had much bigger losses in the past, and I know this is just a bump in the road. It's the cost of doing business. I just wish that the cost was a little bit less. I wish it weren't quite $800, $900. That is my doing. I definitely added to the damage with this trade here, and yeah, I mean, honestly, I missed out on the long. I mean, the long trade here was good several times. So anyway, yeah, my bias on it was wrong, and it was just the combination of my bias being wrong and me kind of hammering my bias. When I mean my hammering it is like trying it again and again and again, and the stock is telling me, no, I'm not going back down. I'm holding my levels, but I didn't listen, and I wanted it to go for me, but it didn't. So pretty nasty loss there on DKNG, and then another kind of $80 on top of that. I'm down like 900 on the day. So anyway, guys, if this recap was helpful for you and you guys could take something away from this, please hit the like button on it. It really means a lot to me when you guys hit the like button. It means that you found something in this recap that was helpful for you and you learned something, and then that is kind of lets me know to keep doing them. And then on top of that, the comments you guys leave, all that, very appreciated. And if you are new here, please subscribe. I do these recaps every single day, no matter what my P&L is, any day. I always do it. So I'm down $900 today. There you have it. So hopefully you guys were green today. If you were, let me know. Join the Discord server. You can DM me on Discord, whatever. Always interested in hearing how you guys are doing. And anyway, I will be in the Discord voice channel tomorrow morning. And if I don't see you there, I will be in the I'll be here on YouTube for my recap tomorrow afternoon at 5:40. So that's it for me, and please enjoy the rest of your day. All right, bye-bye.